First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
This podcast is sponsored by Ramp. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/easy. Ramp.com/easy. RAMP.com/easy.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Last night in the village of Ilion, mayhem. What the hell is going on there? This whole thing with the fire department, we don't even know what's happening, to be honest with you. I'll play you a little audio, and I want to give you the names involved. Of course, Chuck Lester is the deputy mayor, and the mayor of Ilion is Brian Lamica. There's been an issue with some of the firefighters. Nobody knows what it is. And even these firefighters who've given their lives to the position, even these firefighters are, we're told, unaware of really what the charge is against them. Mm-hmm. It has not been made public. And then last night they were crowded into the village hall and at the board meeting. And the very board that was getting rid of Brian Conover, who is he was the deputy fire chief. The very board that is pushing for him to resign was honoring him last night. That's odd, right?
It is odd.
But at the very least, a good gesture. I mean, you're honoring someone. And I think that a while back there was an incident that happened at Stewart's down there where Brian Conover actually saved the life of one of the board members' fathers. Mm-hmm. And last night he was giving a speech where he ended up giving the medal that he had received for that heroic act, giving the medal to one of the board members, I believe Michael Emmerich. Here is audio from last night. Keep in mind, Deputy Mayor Chuck Lester is involved in this as well. It gets heated with Chuck coming up.
For your career, through a lot of dedication, a lot of pride, a lot of...
This is Brian Conover talking.
...bravery. And you remember what every single one of them was for. And this is the last one that I received. And do you know what this was for? This is a life-saving award. And this is for a cardiac arrest at Stewart's that I was given the privilege to go down and help and change that outcome for a period of time for that individual. And I want you to have that life because I appreciate it and the opportunity to work for this building.
He saved the board member's father's life.
Shake her hand.
Now, I believe that might be Scott Hendricks' wife, or I think it's Brian Conover's wife, trying to shake the hands of the board members.
Disgusting. You are.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, when you go on Keeler tomorrow, make sure you tell them how dedicated I was. It's not enough. Yeah.
Well, he won't be going on this show. And I think that was Brian Conover that said that. He will not be going on the show, I don't think. Maybe?
Mike Conover.
Oh, it's
Conover.
Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, you know what? I have it as Michael. What did I say?
Brian.
Okay.
Well, thinking of the mayor.
Listen, I call people all sorts of names. Scary.
Johnny Rocket.
So Chuck Lester has been asked to come on, and so far, nothing, right? Let's continue. It gets a little more heated because at one point, the wife of Scott Hendricks something was going on, and it seems that Chuck Lester might have told her to kiss his, you know what? And here's.
This is about enough. I recognize your service. Come on, kids. You'll never have to experience this again, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Deputy Mayor Lester, you do not disrespect my wife in front of this board and this group of people by telling her to kiss your You apologize.
Leave the boardroom now. You are out of line.
Calm down, Chuck. Calm down.
Right now, just calm it down. Okay?
Sit down. That's all, Paul.
Yep, have a good night. Nothing worth here after that.
The temporary occupancy.
Yeah, right.
It is.
Think it's easy? You ought to try and do it.
You're so rude.
There'll be other people. You're not the last.
All right, that's Chuck Lester saying that she's the woman is saying this is a temporary position. You're elected to this office. There'll be someone else. You're not the last. And then Chuck says, "You think it's easy? Why don't you try to do it?" I mean, this is going on back and forth with a very angry crowd inside the municipal building in Ilion.
That is unbelievable. You cannot, as an elected official, be talking to constituents that way. Kiss my butt, but not, you can't even say kiss my butt, let alone what he did say. That's outrageous. I can't imagine he gets elected again unless there's some
well, and that's the other part of this
conglomerate of voters who think that he's doing the right thing there. You cannot talk to people like that.
And this is Chuck was elected, and there are people that elected him. I don't think he's overly apologetic. He's not been on this program when we brought stuff up to him, Chuck Lester.
My favorite part of the video, you omitted. It's at the very end. One of the guys who's shouting goes, he won't do anything. Chuck doesn't do anything.
Okay. I still play the let me play the end of this.
You don't do it, Chuck. You threaten people. Nothing happens to you. Cut their fingers off.
That's a very interesting line. Cut their fingers off. I thought that was the line of the night for me because I didn't know what the hell that meant.
Yeah.
But apparently it's something that is. Can you look it up, Andrew? I think it's like something that in Japanese culture it's thought of as.
Well, I know in some casinos, if you were caught
cut
cheating,
your fingers
they
off.
cut your fingers off.
Your fingers go. Your fingers go. But remember in the old Japanese movies, you'd see, part of the punishment or part of torture was taking the finger and cutting the finger right off. I don't know. Cut his fingers off. I've never heard that used before.
Maybe take away his power, take away his
Correct.
ability.
That's kind of what it means.
They're calling for Cuomo to resign.
Cut his
now
fingers
it seems
off.
like
I've not heard anyone say that to
then he
Cuomo.
wouldn't be able to grab nobody. Allegedly.
So there you have it, and I think we all agree. There's got to come a certain point where, as a public servant, you have to carry yourself in a way where you may be yelled at. You may be. I mean, obviously, there's an area where it would be crossing the line, and you would have a police officer come in and assist, right? Wouldn't you? You'd have someone come in. But getting into this back and forth and swearing at people, I just don't think is the way to carry yourself.
Well, and if you look at what Chuck did at the beginning of his term in office, right? Fighting for the water, all the water projects and things like that, and then nobody remembers that when this stuff goes on, right? So you could have done
that
so
was
many
great work that they
you
turned
could
that
have done
around
so many
quick.
good things for your village at the start.
Yeah,
but then something like this happens, and that's all people will remember.
And I don't know what happened with Conover and Hendricks and the fire chief. I don't know the story. No one really knows. We hear stuff. You can read stuff on Facebook, but no one officially has let anybody know what has gone on there. But the reality is, should it all end this way? Is this how it should end? I don't know. And it seems to be a really big shame where it seemed like, as you're saying, that the board was doing some good things. Chuck was doing some positive things, trying to get that water mess fixed and working along with the Cuomo administration to get stuff done. And this type of behavior is just unacceptable. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard, I would think.